Okay, we're here today with our next episode, and today our guest is Cam Bedry from Plum Fit and Bath Fitter.
Yes. Thank you for remembering that, Bob. That's
Right,
great.
did I say it right?
You did. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
you did a great job.
Welcome, and thanks for coming out.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. When I saw the email come through on this, I thought, oh, I've got to be part of that with Bob. This will be so much fun.
Well, I've gotten to know you a little better over the last number of years. We've been doing business together since 2006. I just looked up, but I think we only met each other about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's been a lot of fun getting to know you and your story.
Yeah, no, I remember the day that somebody from BizX came in and said, you've got to be part of this. And, I got to admit back then I didn't have any clue what BizX was, but really thankful we got into it.
I'm glad. Well, tell me a little bit about your company and your history. So you're Canadian.
Yeah.
From Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm Canadian too, so we have that in common.
Yeah. And you're from Toronto. Toronto. How do you say it?
Actually, I was born in I was born in India, but I grew up in a small town north of Toronto called Orillia.
Oh, I know where that is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very few.
Well, the hockey players come from up there.
They
anyway.
do. And Gordon Lightfoot, rest in peace.
He came from Orillia.
That's his hometown. He's actually, his funeral is there this weekend.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that, but I do. He passed. But
yeah, he did. So you're from Saskatoon. And for those of you, that don't know, that's the place where it's like so flat you can watch your dog run away for 3 days.
Yeah, that joke seems to just go on and on, doesn't it? I mean, everyone I talk to says the same thing, and you can almost see the mountains of Alberta from that far away. It's flat, that's for sure.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, the mosquitoes are as big as horseflies or larger. I mean, it's crazy out there, but I miss it. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be from, but sure love living down here as well, like the Seattle area.
Yeah. So when did you move down here, and how did you get into the plumbing business?
Well, in about 1999, a friend of mine said, hey, there's this company called Bath Fitter. Maybe we should look into it together and start a franchise. Back then, I was really not into much, selling houses, doing all kinds of different things. And I thought, let's look into that. So opened the first location in 2000 in Saskatoon. Yeah. And then in 2001, we went to Regina. Mm-hmm. And we grew it from there to Kelowna, BC.
Okay.
So we had a location there for a while, and then came out to Seattle. There was really only one big metropolitan area available, and it was Seattle. So we took a drive out here and fell in love with it. So I moved the wife and kids, and we came down as a team.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then so tell us a little bit about Bath Fitter and what the business and what you guys actually do.
Sure. Bath Fitter is kind of famous for the one-day bath remodel. We do tub to shower conversions. We do wheelchair accessible, all kinds of different bath remodels. But the tub over tub was kind of where they got their claim to fame. So there's a lot of cases where we don't even have to rip out a bathtub. We can put a new acrylic one right over top. So we've got 1,000 molds at our factory, and we can pretty much fit any tub that's out there. But then after that, it kind of went to tub to shower conversions are becoming so popular now. So we have a lot of older homes where there's, 2, 3 bathrooms, and here they've got 2 tubs. They're thinking, well, we need another shower. So we'll end up going in and doing a conversion for them. But we do them really quick. We can do them in a day, sometimes a couple of days. But in most cases, we can have it done in a day.
That's awesome. And then you got a couple of branches in the Puget Sound area. So you go as north as, how far north and how far south do you go?
Well, our Mount Lake Terrace location will go as far north as the Canadian border.
Okay.
We do a lot of work out on the peninsula, up in Port Angeles. We'll go there as well.
Okay.
And then our Kent location will take us south to about Chehalis or so.
Okay.
There's a Portland Bath Fitter, so that's kind of our, let's put my hand up, our meeting point.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how many employees are you guys up to now?
It's funny, the more you get, the more it changes quicker sometimes too. Yeah. But I think we're around 57, 58 or so now.
And you just started with one, this was, what year was it that you moved down here?
2005.
2005, yeah. So 18 years.
Yeah.
And so tell us, what are some of the kind of, in your journey of the last 18 years, what are some of the big takeaways that you've learned in business in being able to grow your business?
Yeah, no, I like that question. I've taken a quite a different approach when it comes to building a team. I think I spend a lot of time really focusing on I think the processes is the big thing I've learned really, and taking those processes and really teaching everybody how important they are to stick with them. Set good expectations, but follow the process to a T, because none of us, we don't want to reinvent the wheel all the time. And there's been bath fitter locations around North America for many years. So I was young when I started this. I was 29, and I thought, wow, jeepers. I mean, I don't have I have a high school diploma, and that's about it. So I thought I'm going to learn from people that have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting close connections with a lot of the successful bath fitter locations. Ended up joining the Franchise Advisory Council about 12 years ago, and that's been unbelievable. I mean, the relationships that we've built has taught me a lot, and we're one of the top grossing bath fitter locations in North America.
Wow. How many locations are there?
There's about 110, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got another company that you started called Plum Fit.
Yes.
So how did that come about and come around?
Yeah, that kind of started for the need of having to satisfy Washington State's labor and industry laws and permitting and things like that. There's a lot of other locations at Bath Fitter where they can just simply go into someone's home and do the remodel, and they don't have to take out permits or get any special licensing or anything. Well, out here, it's a bit different. So we had to hire journeyman plumbers to go out and kind of inspect our plumbing work and things like that. And I thought, well, wait a minute, if we're going to have to hire outside companies, let's create our own company and build it. So, I think we're up to 10 employees now with that, and we're going to do some great numbers this year. We're really starting to grow. And I have a great manager, Joe Nanetti, who's doing the work there.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's vertical integration.
Totally. Yeah. I was like, we might as well do it. I mean, I'm not going to pay somebody else.
And you have control over the product and
exactly,
and a better relationship.
Exactly.
So what's been, we've just come out of COVID, and I think everybody experienced it differently. How was that for you guys?
It was scary at first. I think like we all experienced. I remember my wife was telling me, she goes, this is going to be bad. And I thought, oh gosh, Tasha, I mean, you're always, sure enough, it was a month later and everything shut down. In our factory, they said, we're going to shut down as well. And we didn't have to necessarily, but they felt it was the right decision. So they told us all, we're going to shut down for 6 weeks. And we did. And they said, it's up to you to, how you're going to handle the rest of the situation, because it depends where you're from. But we ended up paying everybody and kept them on payroll and said, we're going to take care of everyone and send them home, give them a good rest. And let's hope we get back to business fairly quick. So right when the day we reopened, we were right back at it right away, and things were flying after that. And we actually had a really good year too. So
the demand was good.
Oh, it was huge after that. Yeah, we were so busy. We had the best 2 years since COVID. Was very good for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in building your business, what are some of the biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome?
Yeah, there's personal obstacles that I get in my own way sometimes. Probably it would be learning to onboard, really hire great people and take care of them. I didn't want to be this business out there that is, paying them next to nothing. These people are working so hard, get home and have to get back to work at 6 a.m. and barely make ends meet. I don't like that. I like giving out 401k matching programs, paying health care. I like all that stuff because I think at the end of the day, I'd rather them want to stay with us long term. So I've focused a lot of time and energy on really creating a good culture. Culture is probably the biggest thing that I've had to really work on.
Yeah, and so what has been some of your biggest successes in doing that?
My 2 managers in Kent and Mountlake Terrace, they were so good that I asked them to be partners in the business.
That's excellent.
Yeah, so I've got Trey Provident and Kristen Glavin are partners in the bath fitter side, and then Joe's also a partner in Plum Fit. So I really felt that they contributed so much in the early days of the business that they really should be part of the bigger picture. And they're wonderful. They're like family now, and we all work really well together.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've done a lot of business together over the years. Any idea how much business we've done between the two companies?
Oh, I would have to say $1 million.
Pretty close. I think you were just
We were just talking about it.
just around, I think it's just under $1 million between the two companies. And I don't think we've ever had any negative feedback. We've always kind of seen the 5-star reviews, and that's always great because that's what you want, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so have you found when you're working with BizX members, have you gotten other referrals out of that as well?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, part of the reason we got into BizX is the new business.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that I try to talk into getting into business in all these different markets and demographics, and I don't understand why they don't just jump in right away. It's extra business that they probably wouldn't have found you somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're not a high inventory company, so we don't have a lot of products lying around that we can just sell or blow out. We actually, our full retail price that our regular customers pay, it's the same right across the board with everybody, and it's extra business.
So you get these new BizX customers, and then you've been able to take that revenue and then use it to pay for business expenses.
Yes.
What are the biggest things that you found to be helpful for you?
I would say the travel is always one. I think for every one of us BizX members, the travel is so easy. It's great. I take my team every year. We head out to Mexico or wherever, but it's been great. I think the catering side, any functions we have, I always look for good caterers, that kind of thing. And then, of course, we're building a new building for our Bath Fitter and Plum Fit locations.
Right.
So we're going to look for a lot of different subcontractors and things like that as well.
Yeah. And so do you think in your business, you've been able to get a competitive edge using BizX?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It opens up really a new world for everybody. It's just more opportunity, more connections, more referrals.
Yeah. What kind of switching back to business, and this is a question that just kind of popped into my head. If you could give yourself one piece of advice as your younger self, that 29-year-old bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid coming down here from Saskatchewan, big bright lights of the Emerald City into America, the stars and stripes, that transition, what would that be?
That would be careful of your relationships with your employees.
Yeah.
I think that, there's almost a middle marker where you really want to be social and have the best friends around, 'cause that's how I grew up. I mean, I played sports, I played hockey, I did all that. The problem is after work hours, you want to go and have a little more fun, and you want to go do this and that. And my wife, again, she's been a great support and advocate.
My wife they seem to know a little bit more than us.
Oh my God, they do.
It's like they're a fortune teller. They're clairvoyant.
They're always right. They're always right. I don't know how it works, but no, she would say, don't be so close. Don't go partying with them and this and that. Because I was young when I started, but. So I look back and go, there's a lot of things I could have done differently. Yeah. But now looking where I am today, I learned, made changes, and the relationships are still great.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So what's the horizon? What's in the future for you? So what's coming up? What's next for Cameron, for Plum Fit, for Bath Fit? What's the future look like?
Well, I mean, the Bath Fitter thing, we always are looking for 15 to 20% growth every year, and we're going to continue on that path. I think the biggest growth for us and opportunity is actually going to be Plum Fit.
Yeah.
We've really kept that company pretty, I guess I don't want to say hidden from any marketing or anything, but we've really just kept it in-house, close to the vest. But we really want to grow that now. I think our biggest claim to fame in the plumbing business is actually going to be, I always say, say no to crack. But really what I mean is we're going to be professional. We're going to have, our pricing is not going to be, hammering customers for additional business to make them uncomfortable. We want people to be comfortable to refer us. So we're kind of changing the way I think plumbing companies operate. And we're just taking a little bit different of approach. And I like, it's working. It's been good.
So how are you finding about back July, interest rates are going up, the economy is shifting. It isn't, are you seeing any headwinds? What are your customers saying? Has any part of your business slowed down because of there's a lot of, in some cases, some uncertainty right now in the market?
Yeah, I would say there's very tiny bit of headwinds. We spend a lot of time with the FAC. We meet and we discuss all the locations around North America. Everybody's having just a tiny little bit of lead generation slowing, I guess. But what we have coming on is we're getting back into the trade shows and festivals. So we just hired a new girl to do that. Jason Anderson's daughter, by the way, actually.
Oh, okay.
She's coming in to be our event coordinator.
Nice. And Jason Anderson's another BizX member from Cedar County Landscaping.
Yeah, and I'm sure I signed him up. I don't know if I got that referral, but I did sign him up.
Well, make sure you did.
I'm kidding. You always take care of me. It's good.
Well, that's great. So you guys do a lot of festival marketing, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, we have some interesting opportunities for you too.
Yeah,
like Seafair and some other things that I think you're going to like.
Yeah, definitely. No, we got out of it because of COVID.
Right.
And there were quite a few people got into it right away, say, a year and a half after COVID. And we thought, we'll just wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing our competitors out there too. So we got to get back in. And we have beautiful displays and they've been sitting for a while. So we got to get them in there.
And so do you do commercial, residential, both?
Both, yeah.
In both businesses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I would say 80-20, like the typical 80-20 rule, but 20% of our business would be commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, you saw a little bit of you were saying a little bit of the headwinds. Is that on the commercial or the residential or both?
It's more the residential for sure. Yeah. I think anything related to the media, when they start talking of a potential recession or anything like that, we do feel a bit of a slowdown. But typically in the bathroom modeling industry, people still need a bathroom model.
That's right.
So they might hold off and delay us for a bit, but they end up calling us, so we get back out there, and business seems to really grow and tail off or level off again.
What I heard was because of interest rates where they are, I might have a home. I've got a really good interest rate at 3%, and I don't necessarily want to sell, and I've got to, because I'm going to be at another interest rate. So rather than moving, I'm going to invest into remodeling.
Oh, much better for us.
Yeah.
This scenario. Yes. Like if somebody's trying to quickly sell a home and get it on the market, for some reason, realtors will come in and say, "Oh no, just leave it alone. And if we have to lower the price, we'll do that." But when it comes to higher interest rates and they're locked in at a low rate, people want to remodel.
Yeah.
And we keep everybody busy. Even in 08, 09, the big recession, then I think we dropped about 15% in business. But it was weird because the phones stopped ringing, but yet we still had the referrals. We still had the people that needed the bath remodel done. So it wasn't bad.
That is a testament to who you guys are.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is, I always like to say, even when business slows down, it's actually an opportunity to grow.
It is.
Because somebody once told me, and I don't know if these numbers are exact, but, business slows down. A third of your competitors are going to just stand around and go, well, business sucks. We can't really do anything. And they're kind of looking at the floor and they're blaming the market. A bunch of them could go out of business. But then the ones that actually, they invest. So they invest into marketing, they invest into growth, and they're actually able to pick up market share. Because the market might be down, 15%, but there's still a big pie to eat from.
Well, and the biggest mistake that we see in our industry is people shut down their marketing.
That's exactly it.
And that's the worst thing you could ever do. I mean, we actually increased our marketing.
That's exactly it.
Kept at it. And it reduces our margins, but the opportunities still have to come.
Absolutely. That's exactly the way. And what we find is, and I think, we'll talk about this, but BizX is a great way to increase your marketing without have to come out of pocket.
Oh, easily. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. We're even doing our kitchen remodel now. And I think I was telling you that I'm going to try and get as much as I can through BizX for our kitchen. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so how do you, so how have you created this mentality? They call it a BizX first mentality. Before you need to spend money, is that what would you say you and your company has that mentality?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I always try to tell Kristen, Trey, and Joe, look, before we do anything, think BizX and let's see what we can find for opportunities.
And then why is that though? Like for the somebody who doesn't know about BizX, why would you rather spend and go through BizX and just go to Google or where you usually would spend
Well,
money?
there's a couple of reasons. I think the first reason is we have a great credit with BizX because we try to sell as many jobs as we can to BizX members.
Yep.
So when we have that balance in there, want to spend it,
Yep.
you know, and keep the money moving, keep the cash flow moving. So, yeah, it's and you know, I think the trust is a big one.
Yep.
You know who you're dealing with.
Yep.
Dealing with David a lot, and with you, of course, so you know who you're dealing with. And then response time is quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
Really.
And do you see, I guess, when you use BizX dollars, do you see that obviously you don't have to pay cash out of pocket.
Right.
So there's a cash savings element too, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I think, and I probably don't spend enough time thinking of it that way, and I should. I know what you're talking about, but I focus on getting as many BizX sales as we can.
Yeah.
And how much can I spend?
There you go.
Because it's the revenue I wouldn't have had,
Well, that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
And then those customers end up referring you to other customers as well, whether it's BizX or not.
Well, in Plum Fit. So if there's a bath fitter job we're doing for a BizX member, all of a sudden they need some plumbing work, and here
There you go.
Plum Fit's in there now. Yeah.
It gives you competitive edge over your competition.
It does. It does. It's another opportunity.
Well, that's great.
Another connection, really,
Yeah. And so 2023, you're looking at that. And then, so what do you like to do when you're not, tell us about Cam, when Cam's not working, building the bath fitter and plum fit empire? What are you doing?
Well, Cam does way too much. And again, my wife.
I was going to say, we should ask her, would she say the same thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember a friend of ours, Jake, he runs a nonprofit charity organization called Footprints of Fight.
Okay.
And he said, we're going to raise money and we're climbing Mount Rainier. He said, Cam, are you in? I said, oh, of course. Well, my wife heard. She was in the kitchen and she heard me say, she heard the conversation. She came flying in. She goes, do you think you're in the shape to climb Mount Rainier? You've also got all this going on. You got that going on. She goes, there's no way you can be in shape to climb Mount Rainier. So I was kind of grouchy when she told me that. But then she went back to the kitchen. I thought to myself, she's right. There's no way. There's no way I can. So anyway, along with climbing Mount Rainier, I love golf. I love woodworking.
So you did climb it?
No.
Oh.
No, that ended. That, I was like thankful she taught me off.
The ideas of climbing Mount Rainier. I actually had that thought once.
Yeah, I know, right? It sounds like a great thing. But then I thought, you get up there and you're out of breath, you feel sick. Well, I'll just donate the money. It might be a little easier, but I'm into woodwork too. I actually, at home, I've got a big shop and I've got a CNC machine.
Okay.
So I do a lot of just fooling around in there. I like, I've got my TV in there and I'll spend a lot of time. And then we're on an acreage. So we have, my wife has honeybees. So we keep bees. We have a big sport court out in the back. So yeah, we spend a lot of time, I think, on our property. I love being outside.
That's great.
A lot. Yeah.
Well, Cam, I have to truly say, one of the things I love about what I get to do is I get to meet great people, and you're truly one of a kind, a gem of a gentleman, a great businessman and family man, and really appreciate you being I can call you a friend and such a great member of the BizX community. So
all right back at you, Bob. I feel the same about you too, and I appreciate our relationship, business and personal as well. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Well, wishing you the best of success, and we'll see you back here soon, hopefully.
You bet. Great. Thanks.
Or on the golf course this summer.
Yeah, for sure that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.